Hey everyone, ArchTalko here, welcoming you back to Undertale Pacifist Edition. In the previous episode, we confronted Papyrus, made a friend out of him, and because we flirted with him in battle, we set ourselves up for a date. If we hadn't, we would have actually gone on a hangout instead. So anyway, so you came back to see me. You must be really serious about this. I'll have to take you someplace really special. A place I like to spend a lot of time. Alright, lead the way, sir. Let's see just what Snowdin has to offer. Or looping back? Oh, of course. I mean, what else would we expect, really? So, this is the house. It's pretty awesome. We've got a lot to investigate, so... Sans pet rock. He always forgets to feed it. As usual, I have to take responsibility. The rock is covered in sprinkles. I love that he's probably feeding it sprinkles. My brother always goes out to eat, but recently he tried baking something. It was like a quiche, but filled with a sugary non-egg substance. I believe that's called a cake, Papyrus. How absurd. Speaking of absurd foods, you know what? I never actually did. Never actually used this. So, okay, so yeah, bicycle. Two-pronged popsicle. Pretty awesome, right? Well, if we eat it, we eat one half of it, and then, now it's a unicycle. Unicycle heals 11 HP. It's a single-pronged bicycle. Wait, that's just normal. Oh, these descriptions. That's the trash can. Feel free to visit it anytime. Wow, I'll have you know I've only watched 3 animes. Sir, I'm only like 40% garbage. You poop. Anyway, okay, can't interrupt that. Aha, interested in my feud museum. Feud museum? Oh lordy, can I even talk? Oh, I will peruse all of it. Half the fridge is filled with containers, all labeled spaghetti, of course. The other half contains nothing but an empty bag of chips. Dude, if that's like the perfect bachelor fridge, I don't know what is. Impressed? I increased the height of my sink. Now I can fit more bones under it. Take a look-see. What? Catch that meddling canine! Curses! Sads! Stop plaguing my life with incidental music! Oh, these two. They're just golden, man. Okay, so check this out. Oh, okay, I got one ding. Anytime you move between the kitchen and the living room, Papyrus will ding, and it actually makes like a little game to see how many dings you can get before he resets. So let's see. Doing good. Yeah! Oh, we got the bloop. All right. The dirty sock with a series of notes on it. Sans, please pick up your sock. Okay. Don't put it back down. Move it. Oh, okay. You moved it 2 inches. Move it to your room. Okay. And don't bring it back. Okay. It's still here! Didn't you just say not to bring it back to my room? Forget it! You touch the couch. It makes a jangling sound. Oh, you find a bunch of loose coins inside the couch. You got 20G. Oh, how nice. How quaint. We're just stealing from the innocent. Ooh, it's my favorite game show. It says, stay tuned for a new program, MTT. Keep that in mind. Hey, that's the same place that he was getting all of his creams, possibly the marinara sauce from that he was putting behind his quote-unquote ear. All right, let's see. It's a joke book. Take a look inside. Yeah, inside the joke book was a quantum physics book. You look inside. Inside the quantum physics book was another joke book. You look inside. There's another quantum physics book. You decide to stop. Now, funny enough, it's a joke book, so clearly it's gotta be Sans's, but what use does he have for quantum physics? Also, I mean, he's a skeleton, he probably doesn't have a nervous system, so I guess that would make sense, but he may be doing something wrong. Well, of course, because we all know the most important thing in life is boning. Now, unfortunately, we can't go into Sans's room, which is very disappointing, but we can go ahead and go into Papyrus's. That's my room. If you finished looking around, we could go in and, yeah, like, oh, whoops. I loaded the wrong save file. All right, well, that's fine. We'll get the Hangout dialogue instead. That didn't harm anyone. Hey, those are all the attacks I used on you. Great memories, huh? Seems like it was only yesterday. Even though it basically just happened. Yeah, you could say that. Let's see. Ah, yes, action figures. A great reference for theoretical battle scenarios. How do I have so many? Well, let's just say they're from a chubby, smiling man who loves to surprise people. Yeah, that's right. Santa! It's kind of weird how, like, even in this world, they still have, like, Santa, you know? I think it's from the human world. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would a human flag have a cool skeleton on it? Well, I have a theory. I think humans must have descended from skeletons. You know, you're not that far off. You know, I mean, all things considered. Oh, wow, Papyrus, you know, he's into some pretty advanced stuff. I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? Oh, me too, brother. There are no skeletons inside my closet, except me sometimes. Look in the closet, of course we're gonna snoop. Clothes are hung up neatly inside. Huh. You know, I do gotta say, the place is actually picked up really well. I can actually see him kind of being a neat freak. Oh, dude. Papyrus, you don't even know the half of it, dude. I mean, you have like entire blogs dedicated to you. There's a Reddit account called Crazy Skeleton 95 who roleplays as you on a near consistent basis with every single Undertale post. So yes, dude, you are the epitome of popular. Oh, social media site. Ooh, girl, we're getting meta, especially if it's Reddit. That's my bed. If I ever get to the surface, I'd like to drive down a long highway. Wind in my hair, sun on my skin. Of course, that's just a dream. So instead, I cruise while I snooze. One of the best lines. I'm just saying. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and get into the Hangout instead. And I'm actually going to interrupt my live commentary self to bring you some more post-commentary poop. As it turns out, while I was in the middle of recording it, I kind of had the revelation of like, man, how cool would it be, like, instead of just having you guys passively experience the date and the Hangout and all the alternate dialogues and all that fun stuff, what if I made it an interactive experience, a sort of like choose your own adventure ordeal? If you guys are at all interested, want to see all that fun stuff, go ahead, click the link right here. It's going to go straight to the Papyrus interactive date/hangout simulator. Put a lot of work into it, and honestly, I think it turned out really stinking good. Like, it works way better than I could have ever anticipated it to. So, I highly recommend it. So with that, without the date to pad out the length, there's really a lot that I would like to go over instead, and I'm gonna do it all post-com, so I apologize if you guys are getting tired of not the live commentary stuff. It will come back next episode when we actually have some story progression. So, right off the bat, I do recommend watching the date and the Hangout video before this one, and I think I uploaded that one before this one, so hopefully you did, because there was actually a few things from the date that I missed, and things I had no idea about until I had to replay the date again to get this save file back up to speed, and then ended up accidentally doing and then discovering. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so here, when he goes to step 1, if you don't hit C, instead just hit Z and X. I was like hitting Z and X back and forth repeatedly to skip through dialogue and stuff. But just kind of like pause there and be like, bro, you gonna activate that, you know, that HUD anytime soon? If you don't, yeah, you just like, oh, okay, all right. Alternatively, I was wearing the bandage throughout the entire day. Different items that you're wearing do affect the dialogue that he gives you, but it's literally like he just says what the item is. So I don't feel it's like important enough to show every single item, especially because I would have to basically wait until the end of the game to show each one. But that is the thing. So if you're at all curious, you can try it out for yourself, basically, is what I'm telling you. This is a 100% walkthrough, but man, I gotta draw a line somewhere, man. I gotta keep my sanity. There's also, I had no idea this thing existed until I was perusing the Reddit. Shout out to this user, which I'm gonna put on screen, who actually linked to a save file that I was able to use to show off the scene. But if you get discovered by Papyrus as a human, you have a chance to get this phone call. So is our refrigerator running? Yes, it is. Nice, I'll be over to deposit the brewskis. Now, if we say no to it, and yes, this is Sansa calling us. Hey, is your refrigerator running? No, it's not Sans. Okay, I'll send someone over to fix it. Thanks for letting me know. Good communication is important. And that's the end of that. Now, something else I had no idea existed was if you talk to the shopkeeper and select sell once, obviously we've already gone over this dialogue, right? Yeah. Who would want to buy old branches and bandages? If we talk to her a second time right after, if you're really hurting for cash, then maybe you could do some crowdfunding. I hear people will pay for anything nowadays. Oh, Toby Fox, you dog, you literal dog. Okay, now check this out. I went back to the inn and I just wanted to heal to get the extra HP when I heard this tune that I've never heard before. See if you can recognize what song this is based off of. If your guess was Determination, which is a song that plays when you get a game over, you would be correct. We now have some NPCs to talk to. We all live in the woods, so no one can tell us what to do. But now everyone ignores us. I don't want freedom if it means no one's gonna pay attention to me. Now, the doghouse will now say, it must be bigger on the inside. This is Greater Dog Stockhouse. Now we have Gift Trot. Heard there's a local tradition based off of my own suffering. Everyone's wearing hats. Should I branch into a different item? Ice jorts. Doesn't have the same ring to it. No, it does not. Us teens live self-sufficiently off the fat of the land. Oh, and the box lunches my parents bring us every day. This is actually Chilldrake, an enemy we never got to encounter because we're doing the Pacifist run, and the only way you can fight him is if you kill Snowdrake. So, wanna check him out? See the genocide run.
I made a smiley face.
Hey, stop thinking about my hat. You aren't thinking about my hat? Can you, please? Gosh darn, Ice. What you gonna do? Another Chilldrake? What you got for me, boy? Us teens rule these woods with a smaller than adult fist. Snowdin is written very oddly, as if the paper was moving while it was written. It says, out to lunch. Yeah, this is Doggos. I ran away from home. Why? Because my father was so cold to me. What? It's a joke. Laugh at it. Jeez. Alright, so with all that stuff out of the way, I also want to recap on just a few points and also raise a couple questions as we start advancing the story. I do want to note that I'm planning on doing these little update videos, these little 0.5 episodes, every time we finish with a major area in the game. So yeah, we just basically finished Snowdin, so that's why we're now doing the Snowdin update video. So, first of all, let's talk about our player character. The intro video shows Mount Ebbet and the hole we fall through to reach the underground, right? Right off the bat, I've got a few questions. First of all, notice how high up the hole is. I mean, it looks like it's at least a few stories tall, a height that, at least as far as I'm concerned, no regular human could survive. When we inspect those flowers after coming back to the room, our character notes that they're probably what broke the fall. But seriously, do you honestly think that a flower bed could break a few stories high fall, if that's English? Also, why then are we wearing a bandage that, according to its description, has already been used several times? Why would Toriel come so far away from home, that home with a capital H, you know, the cool place, only to conveniently discover us being assaulted by Flowey? But most importantly though, are we sure that our player character is the same one shown in the intro video? I mean, they have similar haircuts and clothing, but we never actually see the face. These are the kind of things I want you to be thinking about as we make our way deeper into the game. I feel like in any other game, that sort of detail would probably be trivial or have zero impact on the game. This, however, is Undertale. There's this like reoccurring joke slash sort of meme running around the community that Toby's thought of everything. But like, seriously, it's true. The best advice I can give is to not overlook a single detail, because man, there is so much packed away under these pixels and it only gets crazier. Also though, let's start talking about the font bros. I've been kind of being quiet about some of the weirder stuff that's been happening with them, but now that we've really gotten to know them better, I think it's time we start raising some more questions. So the Shopkeeper and Snowdin comments that they both just sort of showed up out of nowhere one day and started asserting themselves. I find it odd how, out of any type of fictional monster they could have possibly been presented as, both Papyrus and Sans, whatever, take on the form of a human skeleton. I mean, we should note that at the very least, Papyrus is confirmed to be a monster. You know, if you kill him, his body turns to dust, which, as the library resource has told us, is how monsters die. What about Sans though? Like, all we've been able to observe from him is that besides being a joke comedy trombone master, he has an uncanny ability to move around unconventionally. Take that one room outside Glide's cave, where he keeps going back and forth just outside the screen's boundaries, or the multiple times you see him walk off one direction only for him to reappear in a scene in the complete opposite direction. The game is gonna later give a sort of explanation for how he can do this, but personally, I don't buy it. Now, in the Pacifist run, we're not gonna get like a ton of more concrete evidence to support that something like super fishy is going on with Sans, but Genocide Run is a complete different story. So if you're curious at all about like what's going on with Sans, again, I feel like I keep plugging Genocide Run, but like a lot of people try to avoid it, seeing it or like playing it. It's got a lot of interesting stuff though, and that is definitely the run to kind of learn a lot more about Sans. But anyway, as we learn more about these characters and our place like within this world, keep these types of questions in the back of your head. If you pay enough attention, you might just blow your mind. With all that said, anyway, that is gonna be for today. Thank you all so much for watching me play. I'm gonna be ending off the video showing off all the unique conversations you can have with Papyrus using the cell phone all throughout the Snowdin Forest and also the town. So I highly recommend you stick around to at least read them at least once, because there is some pretty funny stuff. Also some pretty interesting stuff too. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode, where we're going to be back to live commentary, thank God, and also actually starting to progress the story. So, yeah. Toodles. you